Okay, it's been about 45 minutes so far. Things are still running. The light on the front is still red. It's my understanding that it's supposed to turn blue, and the unit will shut off automatically, and I'm guesstimating it's supposed to take about 2 hours according to the instructions. The only thing that I'm seeing, I'm not seeing any bubbles come off of either of the rods. The only thing that I am seeing is the rods are starting to get darker in color. They were very silver and shiny when we started. It looks like the one over on the right side is a little bit darker than the one on the left side, but I am seeing down at the bottom of the one on the left side, it appears to have a good dark spot on it too, but really so far that's the only thing that I'm seeing. We'll be back in a little bit, and if anything changes, I'll give you an update. Okay, it's been about 2 hours and 10 minutes, and the unit just stopped. As you can see, it's no longer stirring. The light on the front has changed to blue, so that tells us that it should be done now. So what I'm going to do is reach around to the back and power the unit off, and now what we're supposed to do is test the solution, and hopefully it'll show between 16 and 18 parts per million, as close to 20 as possible. So we're going to go ahead and take the alligator clips off, and we're going to uncork it, and we want to be as gentle as possible so that we don't scrape any more of the solution off of the probes. We'll just kind of set those aside on a paper towel for now, and we'll turn on our test meter. Well, hopefully we'll turn on our test meter. Okay, and it's reading all zeros. And it looks like it's showing 15 parts per million, so it's a little bit low. Now, according to the instructions, I guess it was supposed to read 16 to 18 parts per million, and that's because we're using our own meter rather than a meter calibrated specifically for measuring silver. So what we do have now is an ionic silver solution that's 15 parts per million. Now what we want to do is convert that into a colloidal solution. Ionic solutions are best suited for eyes, ears, nose, and skin, but since we want to consume this or for oral consumption, colloidal silver is supposed to be a better way to go. So what we're going to do with the solution still in the flask, we're going to add 6 drops of the reducing agent, and we're going to turn the unit back on low, and it should turn amber in color, and after about 20 minutes things should be done, and we should be able to put it in our storage bottle. So and looking at the solution, it appears to still be perfectly clear. We're not getting any cloudiness in it, so I think that this appears to be a good batch of silver. Everything appears to be okay so far. So I'm going to go ahead and follow the procedures for mixing up the colloidal solution, and we'll be back shortly to wrap things up. Before mixing in the reducing agent, I did refer back to my notes from the telephone conversation I had with the owner of the SilverLungs company when I originally ordered the product. I had in my notes that if I were using a meter that was not the calibrated meter that they sell, in other words, since I'm using my own meter, to get a more accurate measurement, what I'm supposed to do is multiply the reading of my meter times 1.2. Therefore, since our reading was 15 parts per million, when I multiply that by 1.2, it tells me that I actually have a solution that's 18 parts per million. So we are within that 16 to 18 parts per million range, and it's my understanding that the additional 2 parts per million is in an unmeasurable form of silver that's in the solution. Now, I don't claim to be a chemist. I don't understand how all of those numbers work. I'm simply going by what the user manual says and also what the owner of the company, the SilverLungs company, told me when I had the phone conversation. So that does account for why I got a reading of 15 rather than between 16 and 18. But it looks like things are good, so we'll go ahead and proceed with adding the reducing agent in to convert this solution to colloidal. Okay, we've added 6 drops of the solution, and it initially started still very clear, but over the last couple minutes you can see the solution has gotten quite yellow. One thing I wanted to point out, I have the stirrer on low, and you can see a kind of a vortex at the top. It looks like the stirring mechanism is much stronger than it appeared with the lid on the unit. So it appears that it's really stirring the heck out of the solution. Another thing that I wanted to kind of point out is you can see the difference at the very bottom of the probes. You can see where there's still silver where they were not touching the water, as opposed to up above where they've really grayed out. So what we're going to do now, while we're waiting for the solution to finish cooking, we're going to go ahead and take our probes out, clean them up with the copper pad, and get ready to store them away until we need to make another solution. So we'll get to that, and hope you've enjoyed watching this so far, and we'll see you back when the solution is done. Okay, now the 20 minutes has passed. We've got a nice amber color, so I believe this is what we were shooting for. Looks like everything worked as it should. The instructions were easy to follow. It looked like we were successful in the process, and I have tried several times in the past to make my own colloidal silver, and it has never worked. So this is my first successful batch. With everything said, I'm very happy, very impressed with the SilverLungs system. I believe so far it's been a worthwhile investment. Hopefully this has answered some of the questions you might have had. If you monitor my channel, I'll periodically put a few more information videos out there as I learn more about colloidal silver and ionic silver. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.